George's family goes camping. Once upon a time, there was a mommy dog and her 5 puppies. Teddy, Betty, Eddie, Freddie, and George. Mommy dog and the puppies were going camping. "I love camping," said George. "Me too," said Teddy. So they packed up the car and off they went. At first, all the land outside the windows of the car was flat and grassy and flowers all blowing in the wind. "Would you eat a flower?" said Mommy Dog. "No," said the puppies all at once. "Well, that's good," said Mommy Dog, "because flowers are not meant to be eaten. But some we do eat, and you've eaten them too, puppies, like broccoli and cauliflower. They're flowers." "They don't look like flowers," said Betty curtly. "But they really are," said Mommy Dog. The puppies and Mommy Dog kept traveling, and Freddie was getting tired. "How much longer, Mommy Dog?" he asked. "Well, it won't be long," said Mommy Dog. "Look for the mountains." And not too long after that, way in the distance, the puppies could see a mountain. "Oh boy, we're almost there." "Oh my gosh," said Eddie. "Look how gigantic it is." "How are mountains even made?" asked George. "Well, there are a lot of ways mountains are made," said Mommy. "But most often, the land that we walk on and build our houses are really moving on plates underneath them. And when 2 of those plates come together, they push the land up and a mountain is made." They finally made it to their campsite, and the puppies gathered sticks for a fire, and they set up their tents. "I want to go exploring," said George. "And Teddy?" "Well, I'm going to collect sticks," said Betty, "because I want to make a fire and eat s'mores." "Well, sure, save us some," said George and Teddy as they went out into the woods. Once they were out in the woods, Teddy started telling George scary stories about witches and bats and werewolves. George was becoming a little scared. Teddy would howl like a werewolf, and George was sure there was one right behind him. A bluebird flew to its nest, and George was sure it was a bat attacking him. "Bats scare me," said George. "Don't be scared of them, George. They eat mosquitoes, and they help us," said Teddy. As they walked on into the woods, George saw a witch, or at least that's what he think he saw. But it really was just a tree limb. "Let's get back," said George. "Okay," said Teddy, laughing. When they made it back to the campsite, the puppies were sitting around the fire, eating s'mores and singing camp songs. George sat down to enjoy his s'mores. Then Freddie said, "Hey, I got a good idea. Let's tell some scary stories." "No," said George. "I've heard enough scary stories for a night." And off to bed he went, and slept and dreamed wonderful dreams of mountains and flowers. The end.